In a previous video, I talked about the father, Jim Bob from 19 Kids and Counting. He is one of the reasons why I set out to live a life with as little debt as possible. I knew that there were things I wanted to do. I knew that there were things that I would not be able to avoid debt. I was going to go to college. I knew if I needed to pay for my education, that would likely incur debt. I knew I wanted to purchase a home. That would likely incur debt. I knew I would want to get vehicles. I probably have to finance those. Those are big ticket items that I knew I wouldn't have the money to do outright. But I also knew that outside of that, I wanted to minimize how much debt I relied on as much as possible. Did I almost fall into the trap of overwhelming credit card debt? Yes. But as soon as I got to the point where I felt like I could not overcome my payments, like my income was not going to help me pay more every month like I intended to do, as soon as I went into credit card debt, once I identified that I would not be able to make more on a payment than I wanted to, that's when I decided I'm not leaning on credit anymore. I took care of the credit card debt that I had at that time. Actually, I worked a part-time job, and the purpose of that part-time job was to help pay off that credit card debt, which was about, I say, $1,500 to $2,000. That was it. And that was way too much for me because the minimum payment amount, I wanted to pay more. When my budget looked like I couldn't pay that more, I would only be able to pay the minimum. I went out and got a part-time job, and I was like, you know what? From this moment on, I am not going to have credit card debt looming over my head. I stopped making purchases on credit. If I could not pay them off completely, I did not make the purchase. And I tell you, that has been one of the game changers for my finances. Once I decided that I did not want to rely on credit, that is something I never went back on. I never went back on that in terms of credit card debt. Because of course I made student loan payments. Of course I made mortgage payments. Of course I'm paying for cars. But I knew that I did not want to make credit card payments. And I have not done that in decades since I made that decision. Is it easy? Heck no. Not at all. But it's possible. And I just want to plant the seed about that possibility. Until next time, control your money.